Yo, what's up, everybody? I hope you're all having an awesome Tuesday out there. And thank you guys so much for joining me, hanging out with me for another broadcast here on 412 Productions. Let's start the roll call. Say hi to our friends all chilling with us today. Jump into chat wherever you're watching. Say hello. We'll give you a little shout out, and away we go. Light our souls and Truth Teller 101, Lucy Andrews, Q-Boy, Silbor. What's up, guys? Good to be with you all. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Shout out to Seaside Lady, Liberty's Great Awakening, and of course our super mod Joe Elaine over on Rumble, and Pincher Bug over there as well. What's up, Pincher Bug? Hit that thumbs up button on Rumble. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And of course, we're in the comfy bunker on pill.net, the home of free speech, the exclusive place to watch the second hour of this broadcast and every other broadcast on this little channel here. So jump into chat over there. We'll say hi to you all, and we'll get this show started. Scrolling to the top, I see Lightspear was in there first. Due diligence, just seconds behind him. These guys, and Delia too. What's up, Delia? Great to see you down there in Arizona. All of them, they just stalked the channel, waiting, trying to be the first one to comment. It wasn't, I think, 30 seconds after I posted the topic today that they jumped in. HL Paco, good to see you. Floyd with a triple stuffed bison and Wagyu beef soft taco with all the fixins Tuesday cookie. That is a mouthful, like literally, metaphorically, um, delicious. But thank you so much. I appreciate the support, Floyd, always kicking us off with the gold pills. Let's see, Joe, thank you again for modding our chats. I appreciate you so much. D. Richard in the house. Good to see you, D. We got to scroll past some of the conversation here. And there's General Buford checking in from West Tennessee. Good to see you, Buford. We got Truth Teller 101 double dipping. Pip's mom all the way over in Wales, UK. Shout out to our Patriots abroad today. Barb Robbins in the house. R. Harold, great to see you. And Space Cookie, what's up, Space Cookie? Ken Chris in the house. What's up, Ken Chris? Good to see you. Good afternoon, Mr. Gerardo. Due diligence. I said hi to you already. I don't know why. I read that again. Not all there today. Having a bit of a weird day. Not gonna lie to you guys. A good day, but a weird day. Patriot Mom 76. Good to see you as well. And Kaiman down in South Africa. What's up, buddy? Good to see you. General Sam Fields in the house. Welcome. Jenker 2. Great to see you. And A from PA. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's see who else is out there. Bella 214, Emerflow, and Glass Wanda. Good to see you. Idaho Patriot, Jeff Den checking in from north of the border. We got Laura Y repping the 412. Let's go, Laura. Good to see you. Starwalker 77 in the house. Welcome. Matrix Codebreaker says happy Taco Tuesday, Adel. Much love. Same to you, Matrix, and thank you so much for the can. Cheers, I appreciate it. Canada A says Tuesday tacos. Yeah, absolutely. Mad Joker, welcome. Floyd with a very welcome and cheers. Thank you again, Floyd, and yeah, cheers to you too. Secret Weapon, welcome. Good to see Timar out there as well. We got Oil Man, my brother. How you doing, man? Good to see you. Hope all is well. Tennessee Jed, hooking us up with a cookie. Thank you so much. Always in Texas. Great to see you. 2A Freedom Rider repping the 412. Let's go to A and Timar DX. What's up, guys? The Gray Man in the house. What's going on, buddy? Viking Man 1996. Spirit 554. Welcome, welcome. Dread Quarters. Good to see you. Vanita 71 in the house. Hey, there's Disco Daphne. Welcome. Norm, Hang 10, Alien Surfer. What's going on? We got Fazic, Dig One Deeper. Great to see both you guys out there. Pam M. Good to see CDU Calamero, Patriot Game. Welcome. Born Deplorable, Wisconsin out there too. Dave 75. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Boys Blanc, thank you for the cookie. Greatly appreciated. Willow Lady 6, Patriot Drummer, Chirpin Cricket. You like the shirt? Yeah. You can't really tell, but if you look closely, like the white is in the pattern of a golf ball. Like it's like a golf ball texture. It's really cool. It's hard to see on the screen, but yeah, I wore this out on the links today. Had a great time. First time out this year. Shoulder felt good. Feel back to normal. Very excited to be out in the sun, enjoying the nice weather, doing what I love to do, slapping balls around the golf course. Yeah. Eagle Freedom, Duppy, what's up? Paul Thaddeus, thank you for the cookie. John and OKC 007, welcome. Roy Stones and Bones over on the West Coast, what's up, man? Thong Chaser, good to see you. And who else? Anyone else? Brew Bark, welcome. Did I say I had a Born Deplorable yet? I don't think so. But if I did, you get two. Stacks, what's up, Stacks? Thong Chaser, White Wing 1776, welcome. Filter Dog 1 says, is that one of your lines? Is what one of my lines? Whiny Dilly loves Q. Good to see you out there. Jen Barrier, good to see you. What do you mean one of my lines? I'm so confused. But that's all right. I live my life so confused. Stop slapping balls, Adel. Slapping balls is my favorite pastime. Brian 1871, good to see you. All right, let's get this show underway, shall we? I'll see you guys in a few minutes. Born Deplorable. I got a cookie for the double greetings. I'm gonna start saying all your names twice. Mike Q, Kelly, Don Ritchie. What's up, guys? We'll be right back.
We will make America strong again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Y'all for tuning in, Patriots United, doing what we gotta do to win. Be addicted, the MS7, now we're moving in. And once we take over, we won't ever move again. Where we go on, we go all, I say it with pride. No, we won't run, we won't fall, we're right by your side. The demons have taken hold, but none of us will abide. Stand strong, stand bold, that's how we'll survive. 412 is the production, Monday through Friday, deplorable discussions. We're making it hard for the deep state to function. Every time they switch up the narrative, we debunk it. Adel Nero is the power that's controlling the plight. With all the patriots behind them, cause we're all in this fight. So many rhyme for so long, but we're giving them sight. Trapped in the world of darkness, but we're bringing them light. You may even find yourself in a different life. A lot of us have, and honestly, that's perfectly fine. Because exactly where you are at this moment in life is where you're supposed to be at this moment in time. It's all by design, the patriots are holding the line. They must have lost theirs, thinking they're controlling our minds. So many trapped in mental prisons, don't know they're confined. They're just slaves in the system till the roles are assigned. That's sad, the good news is that we're waking them up. They have monopolies on minds, but we're breaking them up. Everything you thought was news, they were making it up. When we ascend, all the tyrants won't be making the cut. Let them all burn in the hellscape they create. We the people already mapped out our escape. We hold each other by the hand as we all elevate and go to a different place. They can never get chased. When I look into the future, I can see that it's bright. When this history is written, they will see that we're right. We formed our own community and the circle is tight. But I expand the circle with every word that I write. The pen is sharper than the sword when you wield it with might. Why do you think they try to kick us off all the sights? These people hate America, punish us out of spite. We are the beacons of hope in the darkness of night. So let's go, strap in, yeah, get ready for the ride. Watch the water, we're witnessing the turning of the tide. Feel the passion and the fire that you got burning inside. Take the narrative they're feeding you and turn it to the side. We're alerted to the lies, replacing with the truth. We know the plan they devised, they're invading the youth. Now we're only and advised to start raising our boots. These demons all weaponized. Now we're raising our troops. Now we're raising the roof and sounding the alarm. Remember that it's always darkest before the dawn. Life is a game of chess. They want to use you as a pawn. You're only useful until you're not useful. Then you're gone, but not us. We're on the right team where we belong. Everybody is invited, so come follow along. We refuse to say things are right, knowing they're wrong. Adel Nero, take the mic and take flight, cause it's on.
And now, straight from the Steel City, it's your host, 412 Adel Nero.
All right, we are back. Thank you guys again for being here for another installment of Deplorable Discussions. I'm riding shotgun with my OG crew on this beautiful, beautiful Tuesday afternoon here in Pittsburgh, 78 degrees and sunny. It's April 16th, 2024. My name is Adel Nero, and Tennessee Homesteader and Drunk Pinata both riding shotgun with me. TN, how you doing today, buddy?
Running silent, running deep.
Running deep?
Yeah, it's the title of a movie. Run silent, run deep.
Never seen that.
It's a classic. Clark Gable and shoot. Oh, now the other name eludes me, but it's a classic. Submarine warfare. The doing okay. Been working on outside, and it's humid and hot. Or not so hot, but humid, which makes it hot.
Yeah, it always makes it feel way worse than it is. But well,
Yeah.
glad to be able to make it back inside for a couple of hours here to spend some time with
Yep.
us. So
Indeed.
awesome. Well, very good. Let's also say hi to Drunk Pinata as well. What's up, Pinata? How are you today?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good. You had a good show. I know we kind of talked a little bit while the intro was playing, and you said that you're able to figure out exactly what they're doing, and we'll expand on that a bit later. But anything else you want to add before I jump into sponsors?
Well, they are what it appears to be just the high level, 40,000-foot view of this is that they at some point got Michael Cohen to agree that what he did was a campaign finance violation, even though in any other case or any other case that we've seen, what he did was not considered a campaign finance violation. So to me, it seemed it was an effort to try to go after Trump during Trump's term, a first term in office, that ultimately failed because Barr came in and saw what they were doing and decided to put an end to it. They said, "Oh, it's Barr coming in to stop prosecution of Trump," right? And that's what they kind of appeared because they're like, "Oh my gosh, individual one did this at the direction of individual one." But with the severity of Cohen's other crimes, other tax crimes, I believe, because they charged him and they raided in July. He was charged in August, and he pled out by December of 2018. And by January, February, he's already in front of Congress with the checks that we all see, that we've seen, making his accusation and saying that he lied, that there was no campaign involvement, which is not true, because even the way that they tell the story, if you actually listen to what they're reporting now, they never say, and they imply that it was campaign finances, or that with Trump, even though they had an agreement for this, it's the same thing as any other thing. So they're trying to insist that propaganda is something of value to a campaign. And so it is absolutely ridiculous for them to try, and extremely hypocritical that for them to think that, well, the Hunter Biden thing was, well, no one paid for that. So therefore, that's eventually where they're going to go in their next point, when people show them how hypocritical it is about the Hunter Biden laptop. So, but anyway, so they're using that conviction of Cohen to say, well, that was what Trump was concealing. So there still is no second crime, but they're saying well, they didn't charge Trump, so therefore, well, that's the second crime. All the while pretending that the catch and kill scheme is illegal, which it's not. Tell me about any other news organization of the derogatory information they put out against Trump that doesn't help someone else. Do you think Act Blue and Media Matters are trying to help Trump? No.
Right. The other thing is that the third crime, the one he allegedly is trying to cover up, is out of his jurisdiction. And Andy McCarthy had a pretty decent summary, which is basically not only saying what we've been saying, that the FEC and as well as the DOJ had looked at this and they saw nothing there, that the reporting cycles to the FECs, the checks were made after the election. The reporting cycle would not have covered those checks until after the election.
Yep.
So it's irrelevant. So anybody putting together the timeline would say, what are you doing here? Except that you have a bot judge and a bot DA. BOUGHT. Not bot as in BOT. Although you can apply that.
Although it feels like that, huh?
Right. If the shoe fits, right?
Yeah,
Here's a video. This would be. I think it's good to play. It's a good summary. Trump put this out from his own site.
Yeah. Is that the Andy McCarthy? Oh, out of his website?
It's a combination of a bunch of people, but it's really good. I would suggest playing it for the audience.
Okay, you want to play it?
It's in the Zoom.
Oh, okay.
I refuse to.
All right, here we go.
I refuse to indulge the fiction that this is an episode of the criminal justice system doing justice.
I mean this very sincerely. I am convinced that the New York justice system is determined to crush Donald Trump, and they'll do whatever it takes, including abusing the law. No one really understands what the underlying crime is because it's not in the indictment.
There's not more to it. There's not an incredible new set of facts that we didn't know about publicly. It's really the facts of this case as they have existed for basically almost 7 years.
That will play immediately into the politics of this, that there was nothing new, that there was not a new surprising fact pattern.
In America, we're supposed to have a free and fair justice system, and one of the critical components of that is to know what you're being charged with. The accused has the right to know what they're being accused of, right? That's a hallmark of the Sixth Amendment in the Constitution, something we're all guaranteed to have.
This is a highly partisan, highly political process. We have a progressive prosecutor who has taken a crime that he wouldn't prosecute against anyone conceivably except Donald Trump. He would never bring this misdemeanor against anyone. He's brought it against Trump. It's time barred. He's bringing it against Trump anyway. He's trying to dress it up into a felony by invoking federal law that he doesn't have any jurisdiction to prosecute. And that's how we land in court. That's not the criminal justice system. That's a political persecution.
It's another example of a New York prosecution going after Trump where there's no victim.
How do you sort of legality-wise, but also on the optics of it, then sort of bump this up from misdemeanor to felony when you've downgraded 52% of felonies and won't prosecute many of the violent crimes?
Down here on planet Earth, we shouldn't be regarding Alvin Bragg as a law enforcement official. We should be regarding him as what he is, which is an elected progressive Democrat.
Looking at this, I just assume, okay, well, this whole thing really is rigged.
It's ridiculous.
If his name were John Smith, Melvin Bragg would not be bringing this case. And so I think that's a real political problem.
The bigger question is, can he get a fair trial in New York?
Well, that is a huge question.
This is political persecution. This is a persecution like never before. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. And again, it's a case that should have never been brought. It's an assault on America.
Hell of a campaign, I'll tell you what.
I wish they would stop using political, because it's no longer political. It's beyond political. It is not. It is now tyrannical. Because
that's a good point. And the language that they're using isn't strong enough when in regards to this, because it is tyrannical. We're not talking about like smearing someone's character at this point. You're talking about trying to throw the black bag over someone's head and disappear them into the night. I mean, it's essentially, they're trying to eliminate due process. They're trying to eliminate any kind of fairness or presumption of innocence or probable cause or anything like that. The very foundation that makes
the innocent till proven guilty.
Yeah, the due process, exactly.
So that's the fundamental of the not just the justice system, but the laws, right? That's why
the entire country is built on that principle, right? Isn't that what makes us unique? Is that you have a fair chance to defend yourself when accused by the awesome power state.
It's the state's responsibility to prove you guilty, not your responsibility to prove yourself innocent.
Exactly.
And but this goes back to 2020. It goes all the way back. Obviously, guys, I know that it goes further back than this, but as it relates to Trump, it goes back to 2016. The minute he announced, they did the 180, and it's been a constant attack ever since. This is just the latest installment because they can't get anything to stick, and that's when it becomes tyrannical. It's no longer political. There is a political implication, obviously, because he's running for president. They're trying to keep him out of the election cycle, et cetera, et cetera. That's as far as the political thing goes. The rest of it is all absolute abuse of constitutional framework. Absolute abuse. And in New York, it's even, I mean, I don't understand how people in New York, even the dumbass TDSs that are out there, hoping that he gets convicted and all of this stuff, and they don't even for a second think this could be you in the chair. You don't have to have billions. You just have to be doing something they don't want you to do.
Yeah, that's exactly right. If they can get away, if they can get someone with the resources, clout, support structure, and that can defend themselves like Donald Trump can, like, what are you going to do when they come for you? Like, you don't have dollars
you end up in the gulag
that you could lean on to defend yourself. You don't have a massive following on social media or the megaphone to garner public support. If they're able to sack Donald Trump, then every single one of us who speak out and speak up are going to eventually fall under the persecution of these psychopaths. So,
and they're already doing it. They are already doing it. They're just not necessarily going the arrest part yet. And I do make it a big old capital Y-E-T, yet, because that's down the line.
Yeah, I think they'll start with things like debanking and stuff like that. They'll make it impossible for you to exist in polite society with by shutting you out of every institutionalized piece of infrastructure that they can. And then, when that wears off, or when that hits maximum effect, anyone that's still able to find a way, so to speak, they'll find other ways, more I don't know, dangerous ways. I'm not finding the right word right now, but they'll find other ways to come after you. But it'll start with things like debanking, taking away your right to speech, taking away your right to do little things until it makes it very difficult to live. And then those that are self-sufficient, they'll come at you in a completely different way after that. But their goal here is complete and utter dominance of humanity, and it starts by picking off the leaders of those that can actually stand up to them. Scary stuff, very scary stuff.
I found those clips. Do you want to do another side of sponsors?
Yeah. Let's take care of the sponsors, and then we'll come back and we'll watch the clip. So our first sponsor today is Earth Garden Botanicals, earthgardenbotanicals.com. A wonderful company up in Montana run by Jolene. She's an herbalist and a health coach, and these wellness products she makes are amazing. They're top-notch stuff. White pine needle extract is the newest product that she makes. It's basically a concentrated version of the sunshine and pine needle tea that so many of you love. It's really good for detoxing the body. Like, I always recommend having that and some of the elderberry tonic that you see here available. Have some of that in your medicine cabinet ready if you feel something coming on. These are a really, really great place to start trying to nip it in the bud. Elderberry tonic offers a great boost to the immune system. Again, the white pine needle extract is really good for detoxing. There's a lot of other great stuff here too, like the CBD and hemp products. All the ingredients are locally and organically grown. Great products like the CBD oil tinctures. The flavors are delicious, like orange ginger, bergamot, huckleberry, cinnamon bliss, peppermint, and cherry. Even the unflavored is really good because the product is so clean and pure. You got CBD oil for pets, Delta 8 R&R nighttime gummies. They'll help you get a good night's sleep. And then there's a topical cream for your sore joints and muscles, and arnica salve with CBD infused or without if you prefer it without. So go check those out. I mentioned the sunshine and pine needle tea. There's a few other tea blends you could choose from if you're a tea drinker. Take a look. And of course, the critter juice. I used it today on the golf course and did not get bit once. The critter juice is amazing. It keeps the insects and mosquitoes off of you. It smells good. It doesn't feel oily and gross on your skin. You'll forget you're wearing it shortly after applying it. And other than the fact that you're not being annoyed by those little pesky fuckers. So anyway, promo code 412 gets you 10% off everything you see here in the store. Load up a cart, say hi to Jolene for us, and thank you guys for supporting earthgardenbotanicals.com. Again, that's promo code 412 for 10% off your order. We also have another amazing America First company. We love them so much. DiamondSoapCo.com. Harold and Laura run this company. Harold and Laura are Air Force Intel vets. They're married over 33 years, so it's a veteran and family owned and operated company. All of the soaps and the body butters that they make are handmade here in the United States using organic, all natural ingredients, which, I mean, these products are fantastic. They're the highest of quality. They smell absolutely amazing. I love so many of these. My favorites, of course, as you guys know, are the Bonfire and the Kentucky Bourbon. Oh, especially that Kentucky Bourbon. It smells so freaking good. My bathroom smells so good for hours after using the Kentucky Bourbon or the Bonfire. Really, any of the flavors here will fill the bathroom with amazing smell for a long time. So check some of these out. You have things like cedar amber, sweet almond, green tea and cucumber, which is super bright and refreshing, energetic aroma that fills the shower when you use that. There's lemongrass, frankincense, and myrrh. Shout out to Lance Lightspear for inspiring that one. And then plumeria, which is one that Tennessee Homesteader inspired as well. So we have some audience and panel participation in the creation of some of these products. But there's something for everybody, guys. If you go to the hand soap tab here, you'll see there's a lot of other ones. There's some fruity things like citrus burst. There's floral scents like night violet and wild rose and lavender. I mean, you really can't go wrong. You can find a little something for everybody. Load up a cart or load up a gift basket, a shopping cart, and go ahead and support DiamondSoapCo.com. They are, when we talk about the parallel economy and voting with your dollar and whatnot, this is exactly like a perfect example of that. Because I don't know about you, I used to buy my soap mindlessly from the drugstore or Walmart for a long time. I didn't even think about where that money was going. So instead of supporting, Procter and Gamble or Johnson and Johnson, this is an opportunity to buy something that all of you need, all of you use regularly, and make sure that money's going to people who share your values and supporting an America First family and veteran owned business. Promo code 412, 17% off, DiamondSoapCo.com. And thank you guys so much for supporting our amazing sponsors. Thank you guys so much for supporting the show. And please, if you haven't already done so, hit the thumbs up button or hit the like button wherever you're watching. If you're on pill.net, you know the drill. Make sure you smash that red pill button, repost the show, and share the links wherever you're at out there. Thank you again, everybody. And let's go ahead and play that clip, Pinata. Let's get this show started.
All right. So I feel like this is pretty much like opposition research. So we're playing this because they're telling us exactly why they're doing this and what they hope to get out of it. So in doing so, we can deny them that.
One of the stunning things about
And
being
knowing
in
it, I mean.
court today, Jen, was to see that theory of the case on full display, both in the morning session when the DA laid out a really chronology of election interference, as I say in the title of the book, and then in the afternoon session when the first words of substance that the judge said to the prospective jurors were, this is a case about criminal allegations of election influence in 2016.
So I'm sorry, but why would the judge who has a case in front of him say anything about this, a political influence, especially when the case is about, at best, a campaign finance thing but it's a bookkeeping thing. So why would it be about influencing the election? Why would the judge? And he just laid it out. The judge is going along with the narrative.
So both halves were really expressing the narrative that you ask about. It starts in 2015, actually, with a meeting at Trump Tower of David Pecker, the publisher of the National Enquirer, Michael Cohen.
We have his number 2 guy on later in the show, Lachlan Cartwright. So,
well, I'll have to interview him in the green room for the sequel to my book. So you have David Pecker, you have Donald Trump, and you have Michael Cohen. And this is where prosecutors started this morning on an agreement to influence the 2016 election through catch and kill. That they were, you very seldom get a contract to do election interference. That's what prosecutors alleged happened at that meeting. And then they took us step by step through the proof. This is not just about that illicit campaign payment in October 2016, the benefit to Stormy Daniels. There's a similar catch and kill payment to the doorman, to Karen McDougal. There's the escalating amount of anxiety in the Trump campaign. Despite all of this, the Access Hollywood tape came out. He's worried, the prosecutors argued, his standing with women. And then the payoff, literally, October 2016, an allegedly illegal campaign contribution that constituted election interference. It kept critical information that the American people had a right to know from them, and in so doing, affected, maybe altered the outcome of the 2016.
we will never know. As somebody who worked in media,
That's a lot of horseshit. That's a lot of horseshit. This guy spun. A spider would be jealous.
Well, think about with Tian, it's the terminology, election interference. What do you think the left hears when they hear election interference? Do they think that is illegal or not? Or not? What is it? Do you think they think it's just illegal if they hear that?
Yeah, they think it's illegal.
Yeah, but it's not, right? Obviously, because anybody is being
not even
persuasive in an
interference.
election, right?
It's not
exactly.
even interference, right? And when does the public have the right to know? If that were the case, why was the FBI telling Twitter to suppress everybody on the Hunter laptop? Why did we have 51 intel agents come out and basically said nothing to see here, which was a lie? Isn't that's actual interference?
Yeah, the election interference was done by the FBI and the intelligence community when they coerced Twitter, Facebook, and all the big social media companies into suppressing the Hunter Biden laptop. You want to talk about
that? Is actual interference.
Right to know, and even proof of that was the polling that came out afterwards, showing that. Well, what percentage of Joe Biden voters that they polled said they would have voted differently had they known about that laptop information? It was enough to have him lose the popular vote. Even I just don't remember the exact percentage, but it was quite a bit.
But I still go back to the aspect of presuming that Trump had an affair with these people, just presuming, right? Because it could just as easily have been a extortion thing. But presuming that he did, and he pays him off to keep quiet, how is that election interference? How is that the public entitled and has the right to know that?
They don't.
It had nothing to do with running the country. It had nothing to do with policy. It had nothing to do. Even if he got his tallywhacker dipped into where he shouldn't have been, it has nothing to do with any of that. I mean, and we've had, let's see, Bill Clinton did it. Paid off. They didn't find that to be campaign and election interference, and he did that.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking that they got to Cohen and made him say that it was election interference in order to try to go after Trump with that. And
they offered him a lighter sentence.
Yes, exactly. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. Why he pled and it was three years in December of 2018, and he's out talking to Congress at least like a few months later. I mean, come on, that's exactly what this is. So the whole catch and kill thing is kind of where they're leading with this. They're saying, look at this pattern. Okay, well, what about the payment to the doorman? What about the payment to Karen McDougal? Are they not going after them? Isn't that also election interference? No. It's only Cohen, and that's why it's the outlier. And that's why I think we've kind of figured out that, yes, they got him to agree that was election interference or campaign contribution. or an in-kind campaign contribution, even though it wasn't. So,
Well, they
but
got him
here is the
to say that it was.
right. That's what I'm saying. They got him to say it was, but it's not. So here we go. So this is this editor, and this is freaking pathetic.
Describes what it was like reading the indictment against Trump. He writes in there, quote, "It was the 13-page statement of facts that brought me to tears. On page 3, prosecutors outlined the catch and kill scheme to suppress negative information. And it revealed to me that I had been managing a newsroom with improvised explosive devices planted everywhere." Lachlan Cartwright joins me now. He's, of course, the former executive editor of the National Enquirer. He's now special correspondent for The Hollywood Reporter. This is such a fascinating piece. I was just telling you, I also listened to your piece on The Daily and heard you talk through it. A lot of people don't even know that this is what happens out there. But I want to start with what I just read. You clearly have been paying very close attention to this case. You know the details very well. You're going to be in the courtroom, I believe. And as someone very intimately aware of the contours here, what do you hope people understand?
Fundamentally, Jen, this is a case about election interference. And I understand people are focusing on a payoff to a porn star. But fundamentally here, this is a case about election interference. We go back to a meeting that took place in August of 2015 with the person I used to work for, David Pecker, where he's with Michael Cohen, and he says, "I will be the eyes and ears of the campaign. Mm-hmm. My organization will purchase negative stories off the market, and we will run negative stories on your rivals." Now, that is something I did not know in real time when I was the executive editor of The Enquirer, when we were orchestrating operations such as what happened with Dina Sajudin, where we were trying to stand up this tip about Trump having a love child. And then suddenly the order came to stand down, and we paid him $30,000. And that story never saw the light of day. But ultimately, this organization, this media organization, you've been around politics long enough to know that it's not unusual for a media organization to do favors for a political candidate or a campaign.
Like every single
every
news
show
outlet,
on MSNBC.
and it's like and this is why I think this guy he has to know what he's doing here, because you can't tell me you worked at the National Enquirer and then he goes on this thing of like oh, I didn't know the National Enquirer was so negative about all these weird stories.
To protect
Come on, it was a National
a
Enquirer.
single candidate.
The National Enquirer has been weird stories. Yeah, I had the secret alien love child.
Exactly.
From tabloids.
For how long?
In the UK, I worked for the Murdochs for many years, both at the Sun and the New York Post. I'm used to tabloid journalism. This wasn't that. Certainly did not. It merged itself into basically a propaganda arm where we went from reporting on celebrities or mass shootings, true crime, which is the bread and butter, as is celebrity divorces, and suddenly we're now running stories. Hillary has 3 months to live, and we're lining up.
I remember that one.
Pseudo experts to analyze pictures of her looking frail, and our art department is ginning up these images to make her look in poorer health than she was. And it was week after week after week, as one of Trump's rivals was up in the polls, whether it was Ted Cruz or someone else, we would be running a negative story. And say what you will about the Enquirer, the reach of this publication, it's on supermarket shelves.
So it just goes out to say it's supermarket shelves everywhere.
I think there should be a requirement when these people come on stage anywhere on any channel, they should be required to disclose how much they're getting paid.
Yeah, that would be
or that it's opinion.
Well, I mean, it's an opinion show. So, but they never claim it that way, right? But they should be able to say this is not a witness; it's a paid.
That's right. And
individual.
I agree, Jen.
I'm say magazine in the.
No, go ahead. I was just trying to find my place.
The Enquirer to be a news organization, please.
Yeah, it's like he didn't understand the history of it or something.
Media when you're working for campaigns, right? And earned media, as they say, magazine covers that are on grocery store shelves, that is gold to people, the visuals of what they're seeing. So we learned today that the judge will allow National Enquirer covers to be admissible in court. We just showed a few of them, including the Hillary Clinton is dying cover. Are there some that you think are important for people to see? Are there some that, you think would particularly make that point?
It's the pattern. It's the pattern to look through what this publication was publishing when I first joined in 2014, when it was, it was Jen and Ben, or it was, Tom Cruise, or it was that kind of mix of celebrity content. And then to look at how this publication then became, as I said, a propaganda tool for the Trump organization, that, it was Hillary that was dying every other week. It was Ted Cruz's father is involved with Lee Harvey Oswald. It was, every other politician is suddenly, there's a negative story. And that, again, the catch and kills everyone focuses on, and I get that obsession. But it is looking at how this publication was weaponized and becoming a propaganda tool of the Trump organization. I think that pattern here is incredibly important.
One of the things that's striking to me about all of this is that you've decided to put yourself out.
Okay, so you understand how hypocritical all that is, right? That it became a propaganda arm of one particular side against the other. Are you kidding me? And he's saying that on MSNBC, by the way, to Jen Psaki of all people.
It's pretty.
So it appears to me that they're going with this whole. It was a catch and kill scheme. It was they knew it was campaign related. And look, Michael Cohen pled guilty to campaign, so therefore it had to be campaign related. And they're going to count on people's ignorance in that jury pool to go along with it, save for the defense correcting them on what the law is. So I think the jury instructions on this one's going to be extremely important.
The whole thing is completely just wow. Anything else jump out at you today in the media, Pinata? I don't really have a lot.
That's pretty much it, because they finally had to get around to telling, and what I've been saying, they were going to say that they're going to prosecute Trump for Michael Cohen's crime. What did I say? I said it for months now.
Yeah, it's exactly what seems to be happening.
And this is how they did it: is that they got him to they coerced him into pleading guilty for all these charges. They gave him a reduced sentence in order to essentially allow them to go after these other cases, go after Trump with this case. Bill Barr got in there, figured out what they were doing, and stopped it. Then you had, and then that's where it ended up. Then it went out of the statute of limitations as far as what anything bookkeeping wise New York could do with it, and then that's that.
So dirty. All right. I'm sorry if I seemed a tiny bit distracted. I had a work email pop up that I had to absolutely kind of deal with there for a second, but I'm good to go now. All right. I had one other little thing on the trial, little article here. I'll do that, and then we can move on to other things. There's a lot going on here, a lot of different stuff I have pulled for today's show. All right. Manhattan DA asked judge to hold Trump in contempt of court. So this is getting to be fun already. Prosecutors in the so-called hush money case filed court papers Tuesday alleging former President Donald Trump violated a judge's gag order by commenting on potential and likely witnesses involved in the case. Several weeks ago, Judge Juan Merchant imposed a gag order on President Trump, writing that he cannot make public comments about witnesses such as a former lawyer, Michael Cohen, or adult performer Stephanie Clifford, also known as Stormy Daniels. Quote, this court should again admonish defendant to comply with his obligations under the order. And finally, this court should warn defendant that future violations of this court's restrictions on his extrajudicial statements can be punished not only with additional fines, but also with a term of incarceration of up to 30 days. Prosecutors under Democratic Manhattan Attorney General Alvin Bragg wrote Tuesday. They argued that it is absolutely critical that the defendant immediately halt any conduct that would violate the April 1st orders, narrow restrictions to protect the integrity of the ongoing trial. According to the court filing, the 45th president should be fined $1,000 per violation, they wrote. Judge Merchant scheduled a hearing on the motion for April 23rd, which is a week from Tuesday or today. The court motion came after Bragg prosecutor Joshua Steinglass made reference to a recent Trump post on Truth Social in which he called Mr. Cohen and Ms. Clifford two sleazebags. The former president has complained that Mr. Cohen and Ms. Clifford, both of whom our key prosecution witnesses are allowed to criticize him in the media while he has to remain silent. Earlier in April, Judge Merchant expanded a gag order on the former president after he made social media posts that criticized the judge's daughter as a Democratic Party operative and suggested that it's evidence that the judge won't give him a fair trial. The former president's lawyers have argued that the gag order is an unconstitutional curb on the presumptive Republican nominees' free speech rights while he's campaigning for president and fighting criminal charges. Quote, the First Amendment harms arising from this gag order right now are irreparable. Trump lawyer Emil Bove said at an emergency hearing last week in an appeals court. Mr. Bove also argued that President Trump shouldn't be muzzled while critics routinely assail him. Mr. Bove last week argued that the order unconstitutionally restricts President Trump's critiques of the case, along with his ability to speak to the voting public and its right to hear from him. In response, Stephen Wu, the appellate chief for the Manhattan District Attorney Office, countered that there is a public interest in protecting the integrity of the trial. Quote, what they're talking about here is the defendant's uncontested history of making inflammatory, denigrating comments about people involved in the case. Mr. Wu said, this is not a political debate. These are insults. Mr. Wu claimed prosecutors already have had trouble getting some witnesses to testify because they know what their name in the press may lead to. Wu didn't identify the witness, but noted they included people who would testify about record-keeping practices. Before day 2 of his trial, the former president criticized Judge Merchant again, saying on Truth Social that the gag order should be lifted and that the case should have been tossed long ago. Speaking to reporters before entering the Manhattan courtroom, President Trump said that he should instead campaign in places like Pennsylvania and Florida rather than being forced to sit in the courtroom all day. On day 1, Judge Merchant directly warned President Trump that if he does not show up for court, he could face the possibility of an arrest and jail time. We read about that yesterday. His lawyers had asked the judge for several days off, including allowing the former president to attend a Supreme Court hearing and his son Barron's high school graduation. The New York criminal case involves allegations, blah, 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 and a little fluff. So they again just goes to further show what they're really trying to do here: keep him off the campaign trail, smear him as much as possible to the American people, and silencing him so he can't defend himself. They want him to be a punching bag, a punching bag that cannot punch back, that cannot defend himself. They only want the people to hear one side of this, and they don't want Donald Trump out there giving rally speeches or as few rally speeches as possible while the assault continues. So the prosecutor is doing everything they can to work with this wayward judge to damage his campaign hopes. But we'll see how far they go. What do you think would happen if they held him in contempt of court and tried to throw him in jail for 30 days? Like what would that do for him and his poll numbers? Like just a mugshot shot his street cred and poll numbers through the roof. Like actually like putting him behind bars for 30 days. Holy hell, right? Like that would be absolutely wild. Go ahead, Tien.
No, I don't know how much stronger his numbers can get, but yeah, the track record has been every time they do something up in the ante, that his poll numbers go up, his popularity goes up. So, and Biden's goes down.
Yeah.
So, I'm just wondering in the end how this is going to end up. Because if they get their way, we're screwed. It's not
if you're Donald Trump, Tien, do you push your luck here? Like do you keep talking and hope that he throws you in contempt? Like do you provoke? Do you back off? What do you do if you're Donald Trump right now? How much do you antagonize this judge in the prosecution, knowing they're just itching, but also knowing that every time they take punitive action against you, it seems to help your numbers? But as you say, how much better can they get? Like at this stage in the game, how do you approach this, Tien?
I'd say that the main thing to watch out for is what will influence the jury. And even though the jury is already potentially not in your camp, the the reality is the judge is giving the instructions to the jury what they should think, as Pineda said earlier. So my tendency would be to say Trump beat Trump, which is basically fight, continue to throw punches, and basically threaten them. As a matter of fact, I think it was somebody, I forgot what it was that I saw that basically said, "Yeah, do it. You know, push it, force them to put you in jail." Because it only benefits Trump. I don't know. It's a tough one. I'd say if he pipes down, he will look like he's losing. He would not look like the fighter that he is. So I'd say that he takes swings.
Yeah, I don't think he should back off at all. I think that he should keep being Trump, like you said, and allow them to keep being, the tyrants that they are, and the American people will see who's right and who's wrong. I think it'll be very, very clear, what's happening at that point. So, I agree. Keep pushing their buttons, DJT. Keep doing it. I think it'll work out for you in the long run.
Well, I mean, this is where it gets really interesting, because people are, if they hold them, if they have them, as we said earlier, if they find them guilty of bookkeeping, no big deal. If they find them guilty on election interference, that's a big deal. That is a big deal. The question is going to be, and that's what I'm afraid that most people don't understand, that I don't think they should, but if they do, I'm not saying that there's a risk, but we're dealing with in essence people that are manipulating the entire system. And you're going to have to rely on 12 people from New York that are already they're having trouble seating people, because most of them saying that they hate Trump. I'm exaggerating there. They're basically biased against Trump. So that there's a risk there. The real question is going to be, what does the country do? Because how many people, which I have been imploring to remove Trump from the equation. This is not about Trump. This is about completing their agenda. Trump's in the way. That's all. And the people that are in the way is us.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. If you're focusing purely on Donald Trump, you're losing the forest through the trees, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Trump is just nothing more than the tip of the spear. I'm not minimizing his role or anything like that, or what he can do, right, in the long run, in the 4 years that he may have. But that's not the game. That's just a quarter. So now you have to swap out the quarterback at the end of the quarter. Now what? Do you think it's about Trump? It's about the country.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if they're successful in keeping him out of the election, and this mofo is left in office, it's all over. It's all over. There will be nothing to stop him. Nothing.
Couldn't agree more. Could not agree more. I have a clip here that was on Fox News. Jonathan Turley was on discussing the case, talking about why Donald Trump really can't get a fair trial in Manhattan. So what we'll do is we're going to watch that, and then when we're done with that, we're going to go and break up the show, take a break. We'll go exclusively over to pill.net. Those of you guys watching on Rumble, we've got 404 of you over on Rumble. Thank you guys so much for tuning in over there. I'd love to see you guys over on pill.net for the second half of the show. That is where we'll be exclusively. So after we play this clip, we'll go exclusively to pill.net for hour number 2. We'll be live from 5 to 6 p.m. The link is in the live chat on Rumble. The link is also in the video description down underneath the stream as well. So all you got to do is click either of those, and it'll bring you right on in to the show. Again, I'll do this again because it seemed to help people yesterday. If you've been hesitant to go to pilled.net because it hasn't worked for you properly when you're trying to multitask or lock your screen, throw your phone in your pocket, especially those of you on iPhone, it's actually really easy to make it work. Instead of using the downloaded app, just simply go to pilled.net in your browser. When you access the stream, you'll see the picture-in-picture button right next to the little live symbol on the video player. If you click the picture-in-picture and pop out the stream, then you can minimize it or push it to the side, do other things on the phone, or just lock the phone, and it should continue playing, or give you the option to continue playing from the lock screen, and you should have no problems with it. So that's how you get around that. I've had people ask me about that. For whatever reason, when you actually download the app itself and like save it to your home screen, the picture-in-picture lock screen thing just doesn't work properly. But if you do it right through your browser, it works great. So anyway, we'll play this video. We'll take a little break, and then we'll come back on the other side. We'll catch up with your gold pills. There's a bunch of gold pill chats that we need to read and catch up on. So keep those flowing. And then we got a bunch of other stuff too beyond just this trial. MTG has a new ally in the push to oust Mike Johnson, which is pretty interesting. He seems to really be on the hot seat, and there's a lot of debate over whether or not that is going to be a good idea to pursue that. So I want to talk about that. And then I've got a ton of other stuff ranging all over the place. Who knows what we'll all get to in the second half, but it should be a lot of fun. Again, go to pilled.net and find 412 Productions. Use those links in the Rumble description and the live chat. I'll put it in the D Live chat as well. And we're gonna have a fun second hour of the show. But before we go and do all that, let's check out this clip over on Fox News with constitutional scholar Jonathan Turley.
Jonathan Turley, and I believe that, Jonathan, we have this just in, some photos from inside the courtroom. There's no rolling cameras in the courtroom, but you have this still photo, the first to come out of this historic trial that is starting down in Lower Manhattan. Jonathan, you wrote about Cicero saying the more laws, the less justice, and that you see the same here. How so?
Well, the more cases against Trump, the less justice we receive as a people. The opponents of Trump would have been far better off with just one case, the Mar-a-Lago case. That's based on real law, real precedent, and one can disagree with the interpretations. But it's not a reach in the sense of this case. This case is creating something. It's creating a criminal code just for Trump. You have a misdemeanor whose time has expired. The statute of limitations ran out, and it was revived in this rather curious way. He's effectively arguing that Trump was filing false business records through his counsel to hide a federal crime. But it isn't a federal crime. This wasn't a campaign contribution. None of that appears to matter. And that's why a lot of us are looking at this and recoiling. This is not how the law is supposed to be. New Yorkers appear to like it this way. They elected James, who ran on bagging Trump for anything, didn't even mention what. And they now are lionizing this district attorney who's putting together what many of us consider to be an absurd indictment.
So here you are in the New York Post. A serial perjurer will try to prove an old misdemeanor against Trump and an embarrassment for the New York legal system. That perjurer is Michael Cohen. Here he was on MSNBC. Watch.
It's the same thing over and over again. Poor Donald the victim. He's now being, the target of the Biden administration. There's, for all of us, the average people, then there's those in power, and then there's Donald Trump, who seems to be able to skirt the law whenever he wants and however he wants. I don't acknowledge what these folks are saying.
And Politico got in on it. Michael Cohen's admitted liar. He's still going to be the star witness against Trump. Okay. Is this normal?
Well, it was just recently that a federal judge really eviscerated Cohen and said that you are a serial perjurer and you're still gaming the system. That wasn't last year. That was just recently. And he's going to take this stand as the central witness. But what is really bizarre here is he's basically saying, put my former client in jail for following my legal advice. Now, a lot of jurors be sort of scratching their head about that one. But there's also this disconnect. If you recall, Mark Elias, who was the general counsel of the Clinton campaign, was just fined. The campaign was fined by the FEC for hiding the payments, the support for the Steele dossier as a legal expense. And they were fined for that. No one was criminally charged. In this case, you're taking this misdemeanor, reviving it because it was dead, suggesting a crime that doesn't exist, and then hitting Trump with dozens of counts. Most citizens, at least outside New York, see that for what it is. It's the weaponization of the criminal justice system.
Wanted to ask you about the fact that today starts jury questions, and the Trump jury questions are going to have things like this. Have you ever attended a rally or a campaign event for Donald Trump? Do you currently follow Donald Trump on any social media site, or have you done so in the past? And have you ever attended a rally or campaign event for any anti-Trump group or organization? What do you think of these questions?
Well, the problem is that courts don't feel comfortable asking, who'd you vote for? And so they're working around the edges to try to show bias. The most important thing here is to try to isolate the worst of the jurors. Those are jurors who just desperately want to be on this jury. Many people will want to be, but are prepared to lie to do so. Now, what the defense counsel has is not their veracity on these forms, but their names. That is, even though we won't see them, the defense counsel can look at social media and see if they're lying. What is troubling is that in a couple of past Trump cases, they found out after the conviction or after the trial that jurors had lied about their past political involvements. The judges refused to toss out the verdict. So you have to try to stick that landing up front to show that bias. Also, keep in mind that you only get 10 strikes as a defense counsel, but you can have virtually unlimited strikes for bias. So as you bring forth evidence of bias, it's sort of a freebie where you can try to remove some of these jurors.
12 jurors, 6 alternates. That's what we're trying to get to in the next 2 weeks. And I guess if you really wanted to be on it and didn't want to reveal any sort of political persuasion, you'd scrub your social media now, or maybe yesterday, or last week.
I don't know if that'll work.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Thanks, Professor.
So there you go. Any quick comment on that before?
Shows you how Bill Hammer doesn't know his ass from a hole in the ground. Can't scrub anything that's already in the archives.
Yeah, right.
Fucking moron.
Fair enough. All right, let's go ahead and break up the show. Again, guys, we are going exclusively to the home of free speech on pilled.net. I've got the link in the video description underneath Rumble. It's in the live chat as well. It's over on the DLive live chat. Just click on in there and come find us, or just type in pilled.net to your browser, and you'll see our thumbnail on the top of the screen on mobile, to the left on desktop. We're the black and gold one. And I hope you guys will come over and say hello. We'll come back on the other side of this quick little break and say goodbye to the other platforms, read your gold pills, and carry on with the second hour of today's broadcast.
Pilled.net is proud to host 412 Productions, exclusively on the true home of free speech. To continue watching the show, we are here to help you over to Pilled. If you're new to the platform, just click on the welcome link provided. It will then automatically walk you through signing up for your free account. If you already have a Pilled.net account, follow the link provided directing you straight to 412 Productions channel. We are excited to have you join the Pilled family. And if you have any questions at all, please email support@pilled.net. Enjoy the rest of 412 Productions on Pilled.net. Free speech lives here.
All right, we're back. Welcome, everybody, and thank you. Big thank you to everybody who has hopped over from the other platforms to join us for the second half of today's show over on pilled.net. those of you who won't be joining us, I totally understand, and no hard feelings. We'll be back tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern time for another Deplorable Discussions. Craig Mason, we're pushing him till Tuesday of next week because he is unable to join us tomorrow, so we had to rearrange things. So next week's going to be absolutely packed. We'll have Craig on Tuesday, 4:51 actual, and the No Prisoners podcast crew on Wednesday. And it's gonna be a fun week of shows. But tomorrow we'll have the OG crew kicking it with you guys for another regular 4 p.m. broadcast. So just so you guys all know what's going on. But again, we'll be going for another hour today. I hope to see you guys over on Pilled. If not, have a great rest of your Wednesday great rest of your Tuesday. And I hope to see you guys tomorrow at 4 p.m. for the Wednesday broadcast. Have a great day, everybody not coming on over.